You look at that footage, Octavia, and you just realise how things have changed.
No, it's such, like, the quality of it as well is amazing to see. Like, you just don't expect it from so long ago, but it is really amazing footage.
Fantastic stuff. You're tuned to Bog Watch. I'm John King.
I'm Octavia Hopwood.
And joining us now is Kate Long. And Kate, thanks for coming along to chat to us this afternoon here at Bog Watch at Merefest. A little bird tells me you have a thing about water voles. Is that right?
Oh, a thing? Yeah, they are my world.
Yeah.
I run a blog called About a Brook. It's an online resource. It logs all my water vole sightings, but also sightings of anything water vole related. So that's water vole droppings, water vole prints, burrows, and the idea is that it's then an accessible log of all water vole activity around Whitchurch, but also it's there if anybody wants. They think they might have water voles on their land and they want to know what droppings look like. They can just look on my blog. Or they found a burrow, they want to know, is it water vole burrow? They can compare with the pictures on my blog.
Water vole poo. I never thought I'd be interested in that.
It's really fascinating.
How's the population? How are we doing in Shropshire, at least in your neck of the woods?
Pretty good. Hanging on. What we have in Whitchurch is what's called a meta-population. So we don't just have one big colony, we have lots of small colonies, and that is absolutely crucial to water vole survival. You can have the most active established colony, but if it can't get out to other colonies, if the water voles can't intermingle and spread their genes, then they will ultimately die out. It might take a few decades. So the wildlife corridors and the lots of spread out populations are what makes Whitchurch fantastic.
So what are the threats?
They always talk about mink, but we're okay for mink in Whitchurch. They tend to bypass us and go on along the canal, so very few water voles on the canal because of the mink, but mink tend to stay on there and not come into Whitchurch. I think developers really are our biggest threat. People who want to drain land, or maybe landowners who don't always protect the banks. You know, they have cattle in a field and they don't fence the bank off, and then the cattle just pummel it all to mud. That's a problem. Yeah.
You spoke earlier about getting children, interested and kind of inspired by wildlife. How are you going about doing that?
Oh, I'm really passionate about that. People talk in very negative terms about young people and wildlife, but really you only have to walk round here today to see how engaged young children are and can be. And I don't think there's ever been a better time to engage young people, mainly because of technology, because now information is shared and we can post our photos online and we can talk to each other in online forums, we can blog. It's just a great way. Technology is a great way to bring children into wildlife and nature, as well as obviously direct contact and saying, as I've been doing this morning, look, have a woodlouse, put it on your hand, let it walk up your arm.
Yeah. Do you think there's sense that there has been a disconnect for too long? I suppose between us and wildlife to some extent, not just young people.
I think generally there is. I mean, you see wildlife reporting, and they'll report about dormice and put a photo of the wrong dormouse on. In fact, only this week the Daily Mirror reported about crane flies and illustrated the text with a picture of a spider. It's not helpful.
It doesn't help, does it?
No.
So what next for you?
What next for me? Oh, more of the same, really. Pursuing water voles with an obsession, almost needing medical treatment, really, continuing. I mean, I'm involved in forest schools. The school I teach at, Criftons in Ellesmere, has a forest schools, as has Whitchurch Junior School, which was the school I taught at before. And the forest schools movement is brilliant because it's children getting out, being taught all the old-fashioned things, the names of wildflowers, and being taught, things like making things out of twigs and being shown how to make dens. these are the things that we need to be doing with young people.
And it's sort of getting kids, really down and dirty with nature, isn't it? Getting them right in the heart of sort of their wild environment. And there's lots of it in Shropshire, isn't there?
There is loads of it. Do you know, we are doing so well. I think we need to be more positive, actually, because great things are being done.
And I suppose this is the next generation, really. If we can get them engaged with wildlife, then there's certainly hope for the future, isn't there?
That's the thing. That's what's so crucial.
Okay, excellent. Kate, thanks for joining us this afternoon.